You grew up in a dysfunctional household? Good news. You were born to be a star. It's important that you guys understand that I'm talking about a certain person that comes from a dysfunctional upbringing. It's the person that doesn't bring it up a lot, that tends to not dwell in their trauma, or past trauma, I should say. Someone who appears to be healed. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all know somebody like this where they've been through a lot, but it's not their entire personality. A lot is going on for them. A lot has changed since then for them. They don't carry it with them. We're looking at Hollywood right now, right? Particularly the nepos. Now look, some nepos are talented, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of these types that just do not have a personality. And it kind of shows through the screen, the lack of range, if you know what I mean. You can't hide that. Also, when you watch interviews, they're so boring, unlikable. And look, maybe we shouldn't know so much about celebrities. The thing is they don't stop talking, and now we're in the age of social media. So there is no more mystique. That is a thing of the past. Though I do see some people pull that off really well, but it's very rare. Anyways, when you've gone through, you look at the world a lot differently. Right? Like, you can see through people. You tend to have quick clapbacks. They're very sharp, street smart. They're not really naive. All these characteristics that I find to be star quality. I really do, because in a world full of basics, vanilla, copy, paste, follow this script, this, and that, you got a gem in there that's just kind of messy. Not in a toxic way necessarily, but they'll give it to you straight. What you see is what you get. And perhaps maybe someone didn't come from a dysfunctional background. That doesn't mean they're not authentic. But we're not talking about that right now, are we? That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about specifically those who did come from dysfunctional backgrounds, right? So they tend to be a little different. I hate to repeat myself, you guys, but they need to be healed. Those who are not healed or have moved past a lot of things from their childhood can be very messy into adulthood. Okay, I know a few of those. So that's not who I'm talking about. That's not star quality. That is a world filled with misery. And we're not talking about that. But I love when I talk to certain, friends of mine, and, they talk about their past. And it's kind of funny because I bring up things that are kind of similar to the way I grew up, and I don't know, just seeing them go about life, it's hilarious. Every mundane conversation is hilarious. This is stand-up comedy material right here. The way they observe the world is funny. They bring so much flavor and color into the world, and that's because they kind of grew up in a environment to a degree. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you fall into this category, there's going to be, in your everyday life, like for instance, going to the grocery store, going to the mall, whatever people do these days, like people tend to kind of gravitate towards you because it's different. You may say something that's a different vibe. Also aura, people pick up on auras and energy, which be careful. Be careful of the energy vampires and they also do destiny swaps, transfers. We should make a video about that. Anyways, people pick up on that, and it's a vibe, it's a thing, and I'm hoping that this will be the future. We don't want to see boring anymore. A normal isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but you can still be normal and have a vibe to you. Maybe some of things slip out your mouth and you say things in a way, and it's funny. It breaks the ice in the room. I think when someone comes from a background that was a bit difficult, they had to grow up quickly in other ways, navigate life with challenges that most kids don't. You really do develop these quirks as you get older, because what happens is you reach an age when you're feeling great and you got all your taken care of, and then it comes time to relax and you find yourself again. And sometimes that child in you that really wasn't there before, this is for certain people, not for everybody, but that part of you begins to explore itself in other ways. And it's funny to watch. So I'm not talking about midlife crisis. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is those who kind of had a bizarre dynamic in the household growing up, and they've overcome it, and I don't know, maybe it tweaked the way they look at things in life. So anyways, if you come from a weird household and you're feeling good about yourself right now in this day and age, then maybe good things are coming for you. Maybe you should tap into that a little bit, put it into your art, or do this in a healthy way. There's a healthy way to go about it. Don't get too obsessed and dwell on the past. That's not my message here. I'm just saying that people who had dysfunctional upbringings or family dynamics or whatever it is that's unusual, kind of is different from the way your friends grew up, not that vanilla. I think there's something there. I think there's something there. So yeah, I hope you like this video.